Global Times, 8th of December 2022, the South China Sea is now even more unpredictable due to Japanese jets' arrival in the Philippines, propaganda from China. Despite Japan's assertion that it dispatched two F-15 fighter jets to the Philippines on Tuesday for friendly exchanges, scared Chinese military experts think Japan's actions may increase the unpredictability and instability in the South China Sea. According to one analyst, Japan considers itself to not be a normal country due to the restrictions imposed by its pacifist constitution. Hence it may continue to achieve additional breakthroughs in the future. As the threat from China increases and the world band together to oppose a belligerent China. Two F-15 fighter jets sent by the Japanese Air Self-Defense Force arrived at the Clark Air Force Base in Mabalacat, the Philippines, on Tuesday, according to a report published on Wednesday by the Japan Times. According to the report, Japan has dispatched fighter jets to an ASEAN member state for friendly exchanges for the first time since World War II. According to Japan's Kyodo News Agency, the Philippines was conquered by Japan during World War II, and an estimated 1.1 million civilians perished. During World War II, Japanese fighter jets took off from Mabalacat's airfield, and in 1945, locals had solid anti-Japanese feelings. Since that time, Japan has changed for the better. According to Shotaro Arisawa, the ASDF squadron commanding officer, the fighter's landing marked a turning point in defense cooperation between Japan and the Philippines. A Philippine Air Force commander, Lieutenant General Connor Anthony Conless, stated last month that the Japanese are now our partners who believe in the rule of law. As opposed to the Chinese, who illegally occupy the South China Sea and are bullies. Defense cooperation between Japan and the Philippines has been intensifying. The diplomatic and defense chiefs from the two sides met for the first time in April for 2+2 negotiations. A radar system for air defense that can spot approaching fighter jets and missiles is being exported by Japan in 4 units. Nikkei Asia reported Wednesday that Japan had also sent the Philippines 2 patrol boats. Since changing its arms embargo in 2014, the Japanese government has not sold any defense gear till now. According to reports, Japan's flight of F-15 fighter jets to the Philippines aims to improve military ties between the two nations so that Japan may increase its military presence in the South China Sea. But according to Song Vungping, a Chinese military analyst and TV commentator, Japan is progressively transferring to the Philippines its more than 100 retired F-15 fighter jets, as reported by the Global Times on Wednesday. With the Japanese Air Self-Defense Force searching for foreign transit points and footholds to sustain its military presence in far-off places, Japan is increasingly ready to travel abroad. According to Wei Dongshu, a Beijing-based military expert, the Air, Sea, and Ground Self-Defense Force would use every available tool to increase their presence in the future. According to him, the Philippines has not permitted the Japanese self-defense forces to remain indefinitely based on the current circumstances. The Clark Air Force Base's infrastructure is outdated and cannot offer logistical support for many modern fighter jets. The deployment of Japanese military forces can be more readily observed if the defense cooperation between Japan and the Philippines involves infrastructure, such as technological advancement and improvement of air bases and airfields. In any event, Wei added, Japan's actions will increase the unpredictability and volatility in the South China Sea. According to Wei, the U.S. actively participates in the defense cooperation between Japan and the Philippines and aspires to coordinate military operations with its allies in the Asia-Pacific area, such as Australia and Japan. To better support the U.S. military as it conducts various military operations, the U.S. also hopes that Japan may establish a base near the South China Sea to refuel and take a break. The phrase has reappeared for the first time since World War II. The first time the two sides conducted maneuvers in Japanese airspace since World War II was on September 28, when 3 German airplanes touched down in Japan for a 3-day joint training exercise with the Japanese Air Self-Defense Force. In this regard, Song stated that given Japan's long-held beliefs that it is governed by a pacifist constitution and is an abnormal country, Japan may take increasingly similar actions in the future. China has been able to act tough in the neighborhood because of the constitution's multiple constraints, which must be broken if it wants to become a normal country. China is afraid because the Allied powers have begun to oppose China's destructive acts.